since I started speaking about the death of that young girl and the murder of Sam and the murder of Ashley Gale. I have been getting harassed. Threats towards little Quintus and his mum, where she's about to get her ankles broke. I receive these on a regular basis, people. You know, people that want to engage with me get harassed as well, so they stop engaging with me. It's what they do. It's what I've signed up for. I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to help you understand and appreciate the position I'm in for this message. The sacrifices I've had to deal with for this message. The personal lifestyle that's poor and begging. I've signed up for it. I could have just went down the route, done my podcast and then started going along like a notorious criminal, soaking it up, making all this money and promoting crime as if it's good. Nah. I made my decision in prison to get out and prevent youth going to prison. Nothing's changed. It's just got more vocal. It's got more serious and more dangerous. The only reason it's got more dangerous and extreme is because of the individuals I keep on shaming. I keep on shaming them. I know how it feels when you're getting shamed as someone who thinks they're notorious, who's got an ego. I know what it's like when you've got a family of dealers trying to portray themselves as a community family who don't deal drugs. And when their little secret gets put out there, I know what it does. It makes them feel ashamed and rotten. Some of them will just rot away and stop doing, but the others will come back fighting. Who's he think he is talking about my family like that? Doesn't matter that it's truth. Doesn't matter that what I'm talking about your family is correct and righteous. You still up, aren't you? Why did you get shot when you come out of jail? I never got shot when I come out of prison, mate. Are you mad? So how many attempts have I had on my life since the age of 16? I've had 6 attempts. How many Osman warnings or threat to life warnings have I received since the age of 16? 3. When was my last one? 2001. No, 2018. That was my last threat to life warning. 2018. Joanne Ash 08, it was all ready to go. I was all signed up for so many schools, big schools, proper schools. I was signed up to go in there and do talks, do the assemblies, and then someone tried to kill me. On the back of that attempt on the 17th of March 2018, it's in the Echo, go and Google it. On the back of that attempt on my life, I was issued another threats to life warning. And the minute I got that threats to life warning, me, as an individual, decided in the past, young Craig has been shot dead, sat next to me. I've had other individuals sat round me and been maimed or hurt very badly because of me. There was no way I was going to stick to these assemblies, knowing quite well that these rats are willing to turn up outside schools and shoot me dead. And they don't care if the bullets ricochet left, right and centre into any decent young pupil. So it was me that pulled away from them opportunities because I don't want anyone else dying around me. That's basically it. And then, on the back of all that, when the Kinnington cartel tried to do me on the 17th of March, using the likes of Wheatman, O'Shea and the Lamb to do the dirty work, I still never moved out the city. I still stayed in my apartment. I still stayed in my apartment doing a live every single night with the same rats saying they're going to move me out. Same rats saying they're going to come through my door and do this and do that. I was there every night on a live feed encouraging them to do so. Not one of them would, because they knew the repercussions of it. That's the fact of everything. Now, I was sat there for a full year, smack bang in Liverpool 5, with the people trying to kill me, people trying to move me out, people trying to burn my apartment up. I went through it all. Do you think I'm going to go to losing everything I had? Don't forget, people, I've been in prison for 18 years. I went in 2004, come out in 2016. Finished my licence by 2018. All the money and all the things I'd saved up, I put into my apartment. I bought a music studio to go down the music route. I refurbished my flat, decorated it as nice. I'm out of a prison cell now, I'm off licence now, I've got my own gaff. I had a little lump sum, I spent it on my apartment. I had it rigged out nice, I had everything I needed in a nice place to move forward and elevate myself. 2 groups came in and asked me to start dealing with them. Who introduced me to them groups? My little brother Ian. These 2 groups was the Bakers and was Rudy. These 2 groups had already had a fatality in between them, and now they're trying to recruit me as a gunman. Me, not being as stupid as I was years ago, declined any offer. Because I declined the offer off them, they got paranoid. Because I declined the offer off them, they got paranoid. All of a sudden, these grown men are now telling the youngsters that I'm about, and I'm going to start taking the graft off everyone. I didn't have no intention of taking graft. I weren't involved in dealing. I've got a black book from all over Europe where I can get access to what I want if I wanted to. I didn't spend over a decade in some of the worst prisons with the worst people and not create a network of criminals around me. I chose not to. I chose not to participate in these 2 groups of organised criminals. They switched on me for it. There was one kid running around the city with the power of the Irish behind him, causing murder with everyone. He stepped to my little nephew, whose dad had just hung himself. I weren't having that. I weren't having some little who I know to be a little, who I know his whole family. His whole family was snatching handbags off old women's shoulders outside the post office when we were younger. There's not a way in this earth I was going to let him terrorise my 14-year-old nephew who's just lost his dad a year before through suicide. Do you think I'm going to let this horrible little long-haired cat rat, the lamb, terrorise my nieces and nephews? No way. And I let it be known it's not happening. Do you understand? That's why he switched on me. Hey? The lamb couldn't deal with me, could he? Every time I seen the rat, he'd run away, come back with a carload and a gun. Every time I went to cough for him, he'd be off in his high-powered cars. The Irish couldn't have that. The Irish couldn't have their lieutenant in the streets of Liverpool being terrorised by Darren G. No, they couldn't have that. Why? Because everyone around was looking at the situation going, hang on a minute, have they really got a grip on this graft? Is Darren G really going to let this go? He knew it. So what did he do? Because I'm challenging the power that be in the city of Liverpool now through this little rat. This rat that is cutting kids up, slashing my nephews, telling them they're the main thing in Europe, but every time I go and search for him, he's running away and going missing. You know, he's trying to recruit the Ease brothers to shoot me dead. They were on the way to shoot me dead, and what happened? They got swooped on, arrested and all placed in custody for firearms offences. They were going out the way to get rid of me. You mightn't like it. You mightn't like what you're hearing. You mightn't like what I'm saying. You might be thinking, oh, this is a bit far-fetched. But it's not truth. That lamb tried to bully my nephews. He got told, he got tethered, he got chased left, right and centre all over the city. I was making a complete of him. I was letting everyone know exactly what type of brat this is. He couldn't come and deal with me. He didn't come with Jack Farley and Chris Farley. They never do a call. Do you understand what I'm saying? What does he do? He goes and cries to the Kinnan cartel. I can't do this because he's up. I can't do this because he's slowing down. People are starting to question my authority and all that because of So what did he do? They never went. Well, let's look at the first attempt. The first attempt that the Irish tried to do me on. Yeah? I'm on a live feed. Every night the way I am. Live feed, bam, 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 bam. I'm in my Mars at this time. Yeah? I'm in my Mars, bam, 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 bam. The front door's always open on my Mars. Always. It's only me in the house. Anyone could have walked in and blasted me, and that's exactly what they were trying to do. How? So I'm on live feed doing what I do. I'm already irritating the life out of them. I'm already terrorising all the little soldiers around the city, especially on my estate. They're not happy with it. So I'm on a live feed, and I hear a few doors slamming. And I think, wow, I've got the music on, but I still hear the doors slam in the back car park. So I turn it off, have a little look, see a car manoeuvring a bit shady. I go downstairs, I've still got my phone. Now it's not on live, but I'm recording. Now watch, as I come out the front door, as soon as I turn onto the front path, there's a man there, an Irish fellow with red hair and glasses, hooded up, squeezed into his hands in his pocket. He was looking on coming into me ma's house and just helping me with whatever he had, right? But I've come out with my phone on record, as if I'm still on live, and put it right in his face. Bang. What's up, mate? How come you're standing there like that? When I've done that to him, he's absolutely froze, panicked, and carried, oh, I'm just passing through. Walked over into an alleyway and stood in the alleyway because I could see his shadow. So I start looking around a bit more and I see the car. And now I see another fella get out the car because his mate's gone. He's getting worried. He starts coming over. Now I'm taping this little out. He's Irish again. He's Irish again. I'm taping him on my video. I get the car reg and all that. I've still got the content from years ago. The reg of the car and so on and so forth. What they bailed in. That fella now has come back out the entry, rushing past me, and I'm going, what's up, kid? Show us your face again. You know, putting him on camera. And it's made himself because I've got him on camera. Do you understand what I'm saying? They got in the car and bailed. That was the first attempt. That was the first attempt off them. And I put the content out there. But the car had false plates on it. It was a Cashco, a white Cashco. Brand new one, but it had fake plates on it. So when I've got when the busies have come on the back of the 17th of March 2018 and I'm refusing to help them, I get arrested because the recording box off the CCTV in my Mars, you know, the hard drive, I get arrested because that's gone missing. It went missing on purpose. You're on it? Come to the 17th of March. They're not happy how I'm conducting myself, screaming about them all, letting everyone know that they're complete, especially the lamb. I'm doing live feeds like this, telling you straight, the lamb's a rat, he won't come and meet me, blah, blah, blah. 17th of March 2018. I've got this rat round me, thinking he's a family friend. When no, he's more their friend than my family friend. You're on it? I've had to move out my apartment because of what's going on. So I'm looking for another flat, and I found another flat on Rice Lane in Walton. Yeah? So I'm asking this kid to come down, Tony Ferris. Come down and help me paint this, like, yeah, come on then. Around 6 o'clock that night, Ferris is trying to convince me to go to his front doorstep. We've got one wall left to wallpaper. And I'm saying, well, let's just finish this wallpaper. Nah, we've got to go, lad. Me babe, the keys. So he got me up there. Being naive, thinking he was a family friend, he's got me up there. Got me to his house. I'm now in his kitchen. The door's open. And I hear someone shout, Ferris. Think nothing of it. He goes out, has a quiet chat, comes back in. Next minute, he's ordered a taxi for us at my mum's address. And it's going to be there in a few minutes, so we need to go round there. Okay then. I've got a few bits in my Mars that I need to grab and take down to the flat, so let's go. I go round with him and his bird. Lisa Wewell. There in my Mars, Lisa's boss. Not got a bad thing to say about her. She's boss girl. And she's just been destroyed by a heroin addict called Ferris. Batters her. The little rat battered her and damaged her back, and her back hasn't been the same since. Sometimes she can't get out of her bed because of her back. But anyway, that's a different situation. Come to the 17th of March, I'm with this Ferris. He convinces me to go back up to my Mars house at 6 o'clock, so I do. He tells me there's a taxi getting ordered to my Mars. We need to go round to your Mars. In my Mars, I've got a few pots and pans that I need for my kitchen. I go in, bam, get them together. Him and his bird are with me in the house. I'm building a spliff, whatever. I've got my skins and that there. I'm starting to go. The taxi comes. And Ferris and his bird go out with some of the pans, some of the pots. They do what they do. They go out. Sorry, I'm just getting a charger. They go out. They're sat in the taxi. Anthony Ferris comes back in and says, Darren, the taxi driver's kicking off. He's telling you to hurry up. Now, I know this isn't the case because the taxi driver's been in touch with me in the past. Anyway, so he's come back into the house telling me, Darren, hurry up, lad. The taxi driver's kicking off, blah, 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 blah. So I say, all right then, lad, I'm coming. So we both go towards the front door. I click on that I've left my skins and the weed on the kitchen table. I tell him I'll be a minute. He goes out, gets in the taxi. I'm going back to get my weed and I hear bang. I know the noise of it. As I'm at the kitchen table, I hear bang. As I get to the front door and step out, I see two gunmen with two firearms going all out at Ferris, thinking it's me. Now, when they're coming for me, people, listen to what I tell you. When they're coming for me, they're coming to shoot me dead. There's two gunmen being paid by the Irish cartel to put me to bed. They're coming to put me asleep, okay? They're under the opinion that that's me. In the taxi with Lisa. But it's not. It's the rat that set me up. There, mate. You know it? So I'm on the step now. I've heard the first bang, ran to the step because I know it is. As I get to the step, turn around on the step, there's two kids unloading into the taxi. All I can hear is Ferris screaming, "It's Anthony! It's Ferris, lad, stop! It's Ferris, lad, stop!" His bird weren't screaming. What's a natural reaction in that situation, people? Your bird sat next to you while you're getting shot up. Your bird's going hysterics. His bird weren't screaming. There weren't a noise out of it. The only person that was screaming was him, and he was saying, "It's Anthony. It's not Darren. It's Anthony, lad. It's Ferris." The two gunmen stopped dead. Stopped shooting him. They never emptied the clips on him. They stopped doing what they were doing as soon as they realised it wasn't me they were shooting. They were working up his body and then stopped at his waist before they got to his chest. Because he was screaming, "It's Anthony, it's Ferris." Me, on it, been in this situation before, know exactly what to do. Soon as I see them, I start screaming at them, "You've got the wrong kid, you shithouse rats." What did he do? O'Shea and Wheatman. What did he do? Start running away. I've vaulted our front garden fence, got on a mountain bike and chased them down Walton Breck Road. And then my gear chain come off. So I've had to stop. You know, if I was shot dead, I wouldn't have the hindsight I've got now. I wouldn't be able to put everything in place on how I went down and who was involved. Because I never got shot dead, it was quite easily for me to put the pieces in place. So look at it this way again. Here's another little situation. Right facing my house is the Gilboys' house. They're living in my house that I purchased before I went to custody years ago and give it to Ian. Ian has had his mates, the Gilboys, living in that house since I've been in custody. Yeah? That house is right facing me Mars. Since I've been out of custody, Jared and that's been up my arse. But you could see the loyalties to my younger brother before me. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So, as all this is going on and they've got off and I'm back on the step, when it's all going on, I've got beady eyes, so I see every little curtain switch. Out of Jared's house, within seconds of this shooting happened, Jared's looking out his window, looking over at what's just gone on. What's the first thing you'd do if you consider yourself a family friend? What is the first thing you would do? Right, you'd come out the house, run straight over to your mate's house and make sure everything was fantastic, wouldn't you? Jared never. What did he do? Come out his house, come along the front of his house so he couldn't be seen, over the fence and got out of there. Yeah, it's all part of the bigger picture, people. It's horrible of me to say, but they were all scared. And the stuff that was coming out my mouth around that time about me taking full families out, they were all scared. They've all switched on me and they've all participated in a plan to get them wigged. Now, there's a reason why my younger brother has not been touched in the 6 years I've been free. Even though I'm screaming about his associates stealing drugs and killing kids upon the streets and killing men upon the streets. Even though they're all aware how tight me and him was. They don't go near him. Why don't they go near him? Because he's been a member of the Irish Kinnerton cartel for 15 years. He's been going to London every New Year's Eve with his little contingency of solicitors and Gary Disley every year. And that's why he continuously gets walkovers from violence coming to his front door, from people trying to attack him, from people trying to burn his house down or terrify his daughters. He doesn't suffer none of that. There's a reason for that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, the individuals that was not happy about me in the area had an opportunity to meet me and deal with the situation and cut it down. So my younger brother gets in touch with me. The uncle of one of the kids that tried to kill me wants to sit down. He wants to nip this in the bud. I'd already told my younger brother, one of these are getting shot dead. Don't engage with them. Don't speak to them ever again. Ian comes to me, begs me, don't react, lad. Don't do it, lad. I've got kids. I've got a family. I've got to live in this area. Okay. I won't react, but I want to sit down with them. Okay. So a sit down's being dealt with. Thursday, 5 o'clock, get them to me ma's kitchen. No one used to like coming to me mum's kitchen because they knew what time it was. And neither did these two, because they knew what time it was. 5 o'clock on the dot, a car pulls up outside. It's a Focus. Who's driving a Focus? Thomas Christian, dealer who's kept it well hidden for decades. Thomas Christian pulls up with one of the gunmen, not the real one, O'Shea, the one who was employed by the Irish, but Wheatman the snitch. Wheatman the snitch. Him and Thomas are now outside my mum's house at 5 o'clock on the Thursday. They get told to come in the kitchen. My ma's been told, get in there, keep your ears shut because it could go messy. Within my kitchen, I've got an axe right next to me and I've got an hammer over there. These two, along with my youngest brother, come into the kitchen. I'm having a proper sit down like I always used to have sit downs and let them know what time it is and what's going to happen if you don't keep your mouth shut. We sit down, we're on the kitchen table. You can see this has dropped out of them. I can see that Wheatman has got a thing in his waistband. Ian, my so-called lovable brother, who set the meeting up, who asked me to go with the other 2 people as soon as I'm out of jail, not giving up my freedom. He knows he's got a piece on him. So I'm there. I'm listening to excuses, what they're giving, why they're terrifying me, why he gave me nephew a black eye as soon as his dad went to jail. Don't forget, they caught for little Stephen, not just little Billy. 13 and 14, these 2 lads was. The Lamb and the Eves brothers held little Billy down, who was 14, and cut his face, threatening me. Go and tell your dad and we rule Europe. This is what I'm saying, people. Don't think it never happened as well with the Wheatman. I'm in the kitchen. I'm the boss in this situation, and they know it. I'm the one who everyone's scared of right now, and they know it. So when I'm in the kitchen and I start going, and you can see when I start going, you could see the life fall out of them, to the point where Keith Wheatman pissed his pants in me ma's kitchen. That's how scared he was. He dribbled. I give them a walkover because I'm thinking of the damage done to my nieces and nephews. Why? Because my brother Stephen has got 3 children to someone called Lisa Ellison. And Lisa Ellison is the cousins of the Christians and the Murphys and so on. So me thinking long term, I don't want me kids getting separated from that half of the family, because they was doing all sorts for the kids. They had them in the gyms, they had them educating, all this stuff. So I didn't want to jeopardise that. So me, being on it, being in the game for years, just a lot wiser now, decided, these are scared, I'll shake hands and give them a walkover. Gentleman's agreement. Don't get it twisted. Before all that, in that meeting, you know, Thomas and Ian ran out the kitchen and left Wheatman pissing his pants, thinking he was going to pull his gun out and let it go, but he never got the chance to. They all got sat down, they got told what time it was, we shook hands, and they left. At that point, there and then, I told my youngest brother, if I even hear of you corresponding with anyone from them, I'm going to do you. If I even get anything coming back to me that you've been mixing with them since this has happened, I'm going to do you. 2 weeks later, I'm getting a phone call. What's happening, kid? I thought you were having beef with out there outside Peaks Fitness. I am, lad. Why, what's up? You're Ian's with them. Oh, is he now? 2 weeks after he tried to kill me, he's sitting with them again. All right. So this is my youngest brother, who I'd left everything to. Everything I'd ever made. Every bit of money I'd ever made. When I went into custody, I give it all to my younger brother Ian. I don't like speaking about figures, but he got $250,000. 150 of it cash. The rest of it property. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's with the same individuals that had tried to kill me. I get word of that meeting, distance myself from Ian, sacrifice him right out my life, don't give a fuck of mine, get it and get gone. Within 4 weeks of him having that meeting with them, they're back again. Another attempt. Same gunmen, same place, same individuals trying to come back and finish me off. Why? Because they were shook. They knew quite well I could go through their front door and maim the whole family. And I was letting them know I could do that. And they were doing the best to get rid of me, the Irish cartel. I was graft up in the city. That's what it was at the end of the day. I was in the graft up that they'd secured in that city whilst I wasn't present. Every other notorious gangsters started grafting with them off abroad. If I was out and continued on the path I was on before I went to prison in 2004, that fat little prick Daniel Kinahan would have never, ever, ever got what he got in my city. Ever. When people like me went to prison, the city was left to be taken. And all them Kinningtons done, soon as they got into it, was employed young Scouse kids to kill Scouse men. Employed young wannabe gunmen to kill old school gangsters that have been in the city for years and had the graft locked down. They've come in after being chased from Ireland, landed here, and then started targeting all the main heads who was getting the weight. Anyone that was getting huge weights in from Europe to sell on the streets of Liverpool was either getting told jump on board or be shot dead. The ones that jumped on board, you're listening to them all get arrested lately in the Encro chats and so on and so forth. The ones that never jumped on board eventually was shot dead. Your Colin Smiths. Although these were shot dead by kids from Liverpool who we all know, the orders and the influence came from the Irish cartel. Why? Because of the amount of weight that they could secure in money. We take Colin Smith out, we can shift another half a ton in this city every week. To us, that's about £10 million. Let's just take him out. Boom.